Yay!
And all the little children rejoiced.
It's the Cult Show! Yay!
So welcome. It's a very special evening. I've brought my sons, my children. My 4 little boys are joining us in the studio today. Never mind that they are probably all old enough to be my grandfather. They are my children nonetheless. They could not stay home when we were just watching Magic last night, and we're going to talk about it today. And we're going to have some treats.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little talking moment, not quite a game, you know how we do those sometimes. But you're gonna like it, you're gonna enjoy it, and we've got the boys.
The boys are in the house. The boys are back in town.
We've got Charlie, we've got Lester, we've got Danny, and we've got Jerry.
The gang is here.
The gang is here.
So, do you want to say who's in chat first, or are we gonna hold off till later?
Caleb, say hold off and do a thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, because
we'll wait for everyone.
We're gonna wait for everybody to be seated before we serve lunch.
There you go.
Fair enough.
There you go.
In that case, we're gonna grab our mugs.
Grab the mugs, children.
You ready? You ready? Everyone, it's great to see you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. In case you're wondering, Lester!
Oh, Lester! My goodness!
You're gonna get the hiccups.
This
Les.
one, you didn't tell me he had a drinking problem.
He's very old.
It's true.
All of these boys were found in the wild. You could say they're lost boys. Producer Scott and I have a saying in our home, and that is no dummy left behind. So anytime we find a dummy, we take a dummy. And yes, they are all haunted, and they protect my home, and I would not recommend crossing my boys.
Nope.
My boys! My fat boys!
We're keeping them nice and happy.
Yeah. Oh, they're thrilled to be here.
Okay,
they
good.
said, we're ready for our close-up.
They're ready to go
We're
on.
having their moment. Yeah.
So everyone, welcome. It is Friday night. We are together in the basement in beautiful Santa Rosa, California. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's all the things. We appreciate you being here. As always, we talk about our roundtable because we really have not seen each other very much the past 2 weeks.
No, we've all been very busy. It's tragic.
Oh.
Well, some people went on a little romantic getaway together.
It's true. 2 of us may have shared a hot tub.
But not everybody was invited to that.
Nope.
Did you and Lester plan to match?
Did we what?
Did you plan to match?
No, we did not plan the match, but you know what? It just goes to show you. It's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
That's right.
It's darling.
So what did you do? What did I miss in your life?
I was so busy. I did watch a film. I watched it with Haley, the PA, who's here. We watched Speak No Evil. No Evil, which is on Shudder, and it was on a lot of people's like best of for 2022 list, and it's been like, I don't know, it's just been like really having a moment, and you know, everybody's talking about it has like one of those scenes in it, and when you get to that scene, you know, type of thing. So we're like, let's see. And then they announced very recently too, it's I want to say Danish film, but they announced they're gonna make an American remake. And so we were like, okay, well, yeah, so we'll watch the original first, of course. The movie's in English. You don't need to remake a movie in English that was just came out.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a big like proponent of don't get yourself too upset about remakes and requels and all that. Just let it happen, let it be. But this seems a bit silly, and I have a feeling they're gonna Martyrs it, like the terrible American remake of Martyrs that should never have happened.
Did it have one of those scenes?
It did. You know, it's always hard because when these things kind of go viral, they get a little overhyped, I think.
Okay.
But it was still a very interesting movie. And I was like rolling it around in my head for like the next day or two. Yes. Good boy, Lester. Wipe your mouth. And so that was cool. But other than that, that was really the only thing of substance I watched. Oh, you know what's really cool? On Shudder, there's lots of old 60s Japanese black and white horror movies on Shudder, and had one on in the background the other day, and it's just such eye candy. Yeah, it's so cool.
They also did a bunch of like a whole French Extremity.
Oh, I watched all those.
Now. I'm sure you have, but
yeah,
I just noticed yesterday.
Yeah, I think I've seen everything that's on there.
I wouldn't.
But I'm just very happy that it exists, and I'm gonna rewatch some that I've only seen like once and stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I was on Shudder last night to watch this movie, Magic. And I know it's been a while when it makes me log back in.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb, for shame.
I know.
Shun the non-believer.
That's just a thought I just had. So. Anyway, I really haven't done a lot. I let my beige freak flag fly and just like rewatched a whole bunch of things I've already seen. Like
beige. Beige. I was like, what's that?
He got back into his canvas set. Didn't he?
Yeah, just boring, like,
Okay.
Hey, let's watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 and again,
Got it. Like you're happy with movies.
No, it just, I had a sinus infection like a couple weeks ago, and so I just wasn't really feeling great.
Achoo.
So, yeah. I did start reading Grady Hendrix' Final Girls Support Club, though.
Yay!
Me too.
I know.
It's a lot gestating.
I'm probably already past Neil, where Neil is. But so far, I am really, really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
Such a wordsmith.
Kind of excited about the TV show that's coming out.
I have high hopes. I have high hopes.
You've got the hopes.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's on something I have and not on Apple Plus.
It's probably going to be on Amazon is my guess. I'm guessing Amazon.
I hope so. But...
By the
anyway,
way,
it's a
poor
great
Danny,
book,
his mouth doesn't work no more.
Mouth doesn't work no more, no
What
more.
that
My
mouth
mouth
do,
doesn't work no
Danny?
more. Is that it?
That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, beige freak flag.
Beige. I did a couple good things, to be quite honest. I watched Pearl finally.
Finally!
Finally.
Jesus!
Nice.
And you loved it?
It was great. It was fantastic.
Fucking fantastic.
Pearl was, it was awesome. I loved how it was like, kind of like, oh God, tongue in cheek and like, and
just enough camp.
And yeah, exactly. Just enough camp and and everything. It was fun. It was well done. I mean, can't recommend Pearl enough. Absolutely.
Tugs at your heart in weird ways.
It does. No, it really does. So it was really good. I recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet, like me, waited so long.
I haven't seen either one. I haven't seen X. I haven't seen Pearl.
Okay.
Movie night.
There you go.
Or maybe we'll just wait for Maxie and then just all do a triple features.
Pretty much. Okay. And then also, last Saturday, I went out and got to see the Book of Mormon.
Oh, I saw that a few years ago.
Yeah, I saw it. It's my second time, actually.
Oh, second time?
I saw it when it came around in San Francisco a few years ago as well, probably. So, and
Still
I forgot how goddamn funny that show is.
Spooky Mormon Hell Dream was stuck in my head the other day.
It was great. That was a great part. If you've never seen Book of Mormon and you don't get offended easily, then I recommend.
Or maybe if you do get offended easily, you should still
maybe
see
you
it.
should go see it.
Yeah, maybe this is just the push you need.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So the wife and I went out and had a nice caught a matinee, as they say.
It took in a matinee.
That's right.
Pearl would love it.
Yes, you're right.
That's
and
awesome.
then let's see what else. And then I was like we said, I was in I went to LA. Like, oh my God, I was in LA. I went to LA this week. Was there for most of the week. So that was interesting and fun as always. Doing things that you do in LA, I guess, which is go to National Association of Theater Owner meetings and other kind of fun things like that. So
can we say the thing you cut out?
Yeah, what I cut out?
You saw somebody in an Acura.
Oh. Okay, I'm pretty sure I drove past Mr. Cronenberg, the senior, yes, the David Cronenberg.
Does anybody know if he drives an Acura?
Silver Acura. David, do you drive a silver Acura? I'm pretty sure you do.
License plate number.
gonna put some video up on the screen.
Like literally, we were stopped like this, side by side, right? So I could have rolled my window down and said, "David." Like I could have done that.
Dave.
And if he had looked,
Yeah.
I would have known. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna be an idiot if I did that, But I probably should have.
You should
But
have said, "Dad."
It was clearly him. It was clearly him.
Dad.
See,
So-
that's very cool.
But unless, of course, he's somewhere else and this guy looks like him. But David Cronenberg looks like, he's not, doesn't have that John Smith cue any person look. You know what I
It's
mean?
very Canadian.
Neil, are you losing your edge? I have never known you to not approach a famous person.
This is true.
I don't know.
This is the way.
I feel like that's kind of an insult at the same time, right?
It
Okay.
was a little bit of a read.
It depends who it is, maybe. Anyway,
Cronenberg's not worth it.
no, he is. He is actually. When he came to CinemaCon a couple years ago for the Crimes of the
I hated
Future,
Crimes of the Future.
I was like the
Fuck
one
you.
guy like screaming, clapping when he came out
Yeah.
on stage.
We watched that movie. We had a
So-
damn good time watching that weird movie.
Hell yeah. One thing you alluded to, Scott and I spent some bro time together in beautiful Fresno last week because
could
we were
call
both
it-
there
yeah.
on separate business things and we came together as one.
You should say it was on CULTSHOW business.
It was absolutely.
That's because that's the only business we attend to.
Scouting locations for our new studio.
The
Fresno.
only
We're a
business
satellite
is
studio.
CULTSHOW business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, on my way there, on Highway 99, I caught a road sign. And the road sign I thought was worthy of taking a picture of and then bringing to everyone here because it was funny. So, Mr. Producer, Scott, if you will, it was the patio bar stools and Amish. I can't read that. What's it say?
Emporium.
Emporium, thank you. Come check out our stool samples. So,
That had to
Wow.
have been on purpose, right? Like they were being sillies.
I
Is that
was
right next door to Spatula City? I mean, it
should
had
be.
to be.
It had to. It should be. But I saw that sign. I'm like, that's kind of a funny sign. I'm gonna take a picture,
Wow.
And you did.
and I did, and I
Not
brought it.
even Bart-
And I give it
What?
to you. I don't know. And then that's it as far as anything to get you guys caught up on what I was doing. Other than to just mention real quick, we lost Treat Williams.
We
Last week?
did.
Yeah, he's
And
been
I was
apparently in
sad.
every Hallmark movie in the last.
Has he?
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know that.
became a Mr. Hallmark regular.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
wasn't it like a motorcycle
Yep.
accident? Or something? So it was
Yeah.
like early, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
yeah,
it
it
was.
wasn't. Of his.
It wasn't like he got sick. Or,
No,
you
yeah.
know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael says it was like his friend that was driving the car that cut him off or something. Apparently.
Oh,
Right. So.
Wow. Oh, that's awful.
So yeah, horrible accident. Anyway.
Poor Treat.
Finally, we're doing a giveaway. We're finally doing our giveaway.
Remember we had a giveaway?
Yeah. We teased you long, long time ago.
This is the Spend the Night Jackie Kong signed issue #1 comic, and we're finally doing the giveaway for it.
Right. Signed it here on our show. You can go back and look at the Being episode
Yeah.
and
There's the
see
signature
her
on the
signing
back.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you remember how I told you how people find it?
Yes, you go somewhere.
You go to the description of this episode.
Yes, you follow the instructions just down below in that there little box.
Just click the link. Click the link in the description below
And go do that.
and follow the directions. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple
Do everything
as that.
Sandra said, but then also just go to the link and click it in our
You never
description.
watch YouTube videos. This is like a script that every YouTube video, every producer knows.
Yeah, just
Check the
follow-
link in the description.
and you just follow it.
That's all you do.
It's simple.
Simple.
A child.
Who
could
messed
do it.
up, me or Sandra?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be asked to present the giveaway, so I was just going.
I feel like I wanted to give it to you because you're the generous
Oh.
one.
Well, I feel good about my contribution.
All right, people, go take care of that after the show.
Go win it.
Go do whatever it was. Scan the, check
Nope,
the.
Don't scan anything. Don't check anything. You follow the link below. Neil has made a beginner's mistake.
Anyway, yeah, go do that.
Don't do that.
And then finally, cult film series at the Roxy 14.
Oh, another thing Neil didn't tell me about,
July.
and somebody else had to tell me about.
Well,
Story of my goddamn life.
July 6th, Vampire's Kiss and Valley Girl.
We've reviewed Vampire's Kiss.
We have, so we know.
I'm a vampire!
Exactly. Finally, Nick Cage double feature, and then July
Yeah.
20th, Cat People and the Hunger. So you could argue
David
a David Bowie
Bowie.
double feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, some David Bowie action in both films.
Woo-hoo.
That's what's
Nice.
happening in July.
Yay.
The Hunger has an iconic cover.
It does. It's very iconic.
Poster. Is he dabbing? I think
He
just
was
did
more like a. Maybe he was dabbing.
Lester.
Lester, you're silly.
Well, he has been watching football for years.
I bet. But he's watching the Raiders. Does that count?
Oh,
Oh.
snap.
Says the flipper team.
The flipper team, that's right. All right, should we go forward?
Let us talk of magic.
Let's do it.
What was that? I didn't get
That-
it.
Magic.
Was a bop.
Oh my gosh, Lester, did you do that? All right, let's talk about magic. This is Sandra's pick this time around. You guys remember the last time I got a movie? Nope, been a long time.
It's like a month ago.
So this is 1978. Shudder said 77. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I saw 78 everywhere, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
got 78.
Yeah, it said it on there, and I was like, is this one of those things, like in one country it was one way, and then another country is one way? I don't know. So let's say 78. This is the story of Corky, played by Sir Anthony Hopkins, who was then like a mere 37 years old, something like that. A failed magician. Corky the failed magician. He adopts a ventriloquist dummy. That's why we have these dummies. He adopts this ventriloquist dummy act with an abrasive dummy named Fats, and suddenly finds himself lined up for a television show. When the unbalanced Corky fears he won't pass the required medical exam, he runs away with Fats to his hometown, where he meets an old love from high school, Peggy, played by Ann-Margret. Corky persuades Peggy to leave her loveless marriage, but Fats, who seems to be taking on a mind of his own, doesn't approve of the relationship. So this was directed by the one, the only, Richard Attenborough.
No
Screenplay by...
expense was scared.
Wow. Wow. Screenplay by William Goldman, adapted from his novel, which I haven't read, but I imagine it'd be a cracking read. A cracking read. So this movie is on Shudder, and it seems to have, like sometimes happens when things go to streaming, had a little bit of a resurgence and people getting excited about it. And one of my good friends of the show, Kyle, was like, have you ever seen this movie? And I was like, no, but I've always wanted to. And it was like, oh, you got to. I need to talk about it with somebody. And I know that feeling. So I was like, well, if you need to talk about it, then I feel like that's something that like we all need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And hence it became our film. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, we don't live and die by a tomato score around here. However, it is interesting because that has to be recent, right? I don't know that they were feeling this in 78.
Right.
But so I have to say, Fats plus Burgess Meredith is everything I ever wanted in a film. I loved this goddamn movie. You guys know I love 70s horror. I love dummies and dolls, clearly. I adored this performance by Sir Anthony Hopkins when he was just a little hop. And phenomenal movie. I was like, oh, I can't believe I hadn't seen this till now. And I had so much sympathy for Fats. And I really loved him. Maybe he's a bad guy, but that's just some people's opinion. But yeah, that was me. Big fan. 4 dummies, every little thumb in the air. We loved it as a family.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Me?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I thought everyone... Okay. Sorry. Let me go back a little bit. This could have gone so wrong on so many levels. Like, so wrong. But everyone in it does an amazing job. Like, amazing job.
Amazing.
And I have to say, I'm sorry. And if you have an alcoholic beverage, get it ready, because I thought this movie was charming.
Charming film. We haven't said a movie's charming in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least an episode.
Like, I really liked it. And then, like, yeah, I thought it was great. A lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I as well very much enjoyed this film.
Was this first time for you?
This was I'd never even, I mean, I've heard you guys talk about it before,
Yeah.
but I'd never even heard of
And
this
you
before.
saw this-
I saw so I saw it when it was first released on Shudder. Like, so it was pretty
okay.
recent. But I, like you, I had heard about it for a fair amount of time. It always kind of makes its way here and there
Great cover.
and things. And then I watched it like right away actually. And that's why for me it was top of my mind. And then when we were having the talk about what to pick and you said it, I was
Yeah.
like, what?
You're like, you even said,
You're like-
that saved me a pick, because I
Yes,
was going to pick that.
Exactly.
So now
You
I feel
pulled it
kind
out.
of robbed, but it's
So.
okay.
Anyway, I think the movie's fantastic. The acting is fantastic. I mean, it's Anthony Hopkins, and it's every bit Anthony Hopkins. It's
Right.
cheesy as you're expecting it to get and to go. He somehow keeps it grounded at a point that it's
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And the fact that he does the voice for the dummy as well,
Yes.
which is I think really cool that they did that. Yeah, I mean it's well-directed film. I mean Ann-Margret was great. It was a good film. And in fact, can I read you the the full tagline of the movie that's on the poster? I thought it was
Please read that.
kind of weird at the same time. Okay, so it's abracadabra. I sit on his knee. Presto changeo, and now he is me. Hocus pocus, we take her to bed. Magic is fun. We're dead. It's like, whoa.
What a wonderful poem.
Yes, very nice. I guess.
Also the plot of the film.
Right, I
Yeah.
know.
So-
they give everything away.
pretty
That was on the poster?
So that was. So I guess Fats
Wrote that.
wrote that, basically, I guess. So
Wow.
anyway.
That's funny.
That is very
So
funny.
let's get into it, though.
So I've seen Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony. We're just gonna call him different things. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not gonna call him Sir Anthony Hopkins every time. But I've seen him younger too. I think the youngest movie I've ever seen him in is the film adaptation of The Lion in Winter when he was 31.
Oh,
Fantastic fucking art
Okay.
piece. But so it's still such a trip to see him so young. But it's like it's still him. Oh, but it's just, I don't know. There's something about it. It really just like touches on your heartstrings right there. And I would say just the right amount of camp in this movie too. Just enough because it is a dummy. And my boys and I love camp. Love the opening sequence of this film. Where
Like
he's
with the title card and everything, or just
Well,
where he's
yeah.
talking to Merlin?
really the part where he's talking to Merlin.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's kind of recounting, oh, it went so well, and he's like preparing Merlin's medicine, and and we know that it's not true, and like just the way it unfolds. Yeah,
See, I would go back and say like
Oh,
the
yeah,
title card and
love
like
that.
the panning around. Sorry, Mike. Panning around the entire room,
Oh, yeah.
showing all this stuff. Like I love that, and I love the magic font that they
Oh, it's
used
so
in the name. I
70s.
thought it was great. I
yep.
thought it was great.
So 70s. Groovy fashions and hair everywhere in this film. Everywhere in this movie. So, did you guys know that Anthony is a sober icon just like me? And he actually, I know the
didn't
boy
know
said,
that.
what?
No.
He actually has been sober since 1975.
Wow.
So even before this film, he already was indeed.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I just real quick a nod to the Cult Show and the fact that we are discussing a film of such high status when you have Sir Anthony Hopkins, directed by Sir Richard Attenborough, right?
Mhm.
Or David what was his name in Jurassic Park? Hammond?
Yeah.
Whatever. And yeah,
John Hammond.
John Hammond.
John Hammond, sorry. And then of course, Ann-Margret, Burgess Meredith. I mean, it's like we're high class in it tonight.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we
we're
are.
overstepping.
And I love Burgess Meredith, of course, from Rocky.
Right.
Is really what I know and love him for.
Well, it's what everyone I think knows him from. So
Well, I mean,
it
I'm
was
sure
very
he's done.
interesting to hear him not be like, "You're a
bum
bum rock."
But I'm sure he's done many other things that people be like, he was more than Rocky, and it's like, fine,
Yeah.
gatekeepers of Burgess Meredith, but
Right.
this is everything. This movie.
He did have a couple really good lines in this film.
Oh
though.
my god, I wrote down a few of them.
Me too.
No,
Okay.
they're wonder. Yeah.
Maybe
it's
we'll
okay.
get to them. Do you have any that were
Oh.
early?
Because
I have a whole bunch.
I have one written here kind of early on. Although I don't know if it was him, actually, so I probably shouldn't say that one. I didn't write down who was next to it. I can't remember now who said that one. I invited conspicuous consumption. I don't remember who
That
said
might have
that
been
one.
Fats.
That might have been Fats.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
They both had
No, I invented his conspicuous consumption. That's
Invented.
invented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that Ben
King-
Green?
yeah.
King
Okay.
Green.
Okay.
I typed it wrong.
They
apparently.
both had so many zippy lines. Fats and
Here's
King
a question.
Green.
Here's
Yeah.
real quick. Sorry. So the version we all saw on Shudder
Mhm.
was like a PG, you would call it, right? There was
There
no
was no
foul language.
no
Yeah.
foul language.
No.
One awkward love scene.
Yes. Okay. I'll
Thank
give you that.
you. I have that.
A little bit of murder.
But things I was reading about it was that it was like the Fats actually had some really harsh, outlandish language
Oh.
in the original film, and it got re-edited for a TV version. And to me, it seems like we saw the TV version because remember how it kept like fading to black.
Yeah, there
through
was
the
parts where
segments?
there's like a commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
So-
aspect ratio was like
and that too. So
TV
I don't think we saw the
as
actual
well.
theatrical release. I feel like we
Interesting.
saw
But then I
the
wonder,
TV edited.
I bet a
version.
lot of people have only seen this version.
Yeah, probably.
Because if it was on the television, and a lot of people watch the television.
Right,
Um,
because yeah,
yeah, that's so interesting
Yeah.
though.
Right.
If you've seen both versions, please let us
yeah,
know.
let us know.
like Doc Pretorius is in there. He probably saw the original.
He's probably in the original. Jesus Christ. I love you. I love
Hey,
you.
Corky's mentor Merlin.
Love him.
Did something bad happen? So we get a time jump in this movie with
Mhm.
like no explanation whatsoever, right? Like,
Yeah.
Corky comes back and he's telling
Crooked comeback.
he's telling Merlin like how great this show went, but it's cut with what really happened,
Yeah.
and it went poorly. Like,
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I
horribly.
love that
Just
scene. Yeah.
awful. No, it's a great scene. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. And then it just like cuts
Yep.
to I don't even know if they say a year
Nope,
later.
they
10
don't.
months,
They
what- you know.
don't. I
No,
actually-
Merlin is just gone. You know,
I have a
You
theory.
Have no idea where the dummies come from.
Exactly.
Right. So, think something sinister
So
happened? you
yes,
think?
I do.
Okay.
I
all right.
think that he was overdosing Merlin
Mhm.
to help him pass.
Okay.
Because I think he was, and I don't think this was psychotic Cork. I think this was like, as his friends call him in the movie, Cork, which is short for Corksicle, or Corkthu.
Isle of Cork.
Isle of Cork, Corky Pig. Like there's some.
Corky Pig.
But so I think that he did that. But in doing that, something did kind of shake loose in Corky.
Okay.
And I really love that we don't know where Fats came from.
Yeah. No, I'm like really okay with it. I'm not.
do not want
asking
Fat's
for
origin
more.
story.
Yeah. No, I don't need it. I don't really care. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like. Is this a possession thing? Is this a, you know?
Yeah.
Did he kill him and steal the secrets that he had that he felt he wasn't getting that was going to make him, you know, this big star that he wants to be? And I was thinking, you know, God, if he had just the confidence of telling Merlin how the show went
Yeah.
on stage,
And was it the
that's like half the battle right there.
was it the confidence or was he trying to like comfort Merlin? I couldn't
I
tell.
don't know. Again, so many questions.
Oh, Doc, thank you for clearing up where your cameo is in the film.
With Jerry Stiller and Norman Fell. I love Norman Fell. Anyone who brings up Norman Fell, I'm okay with that.
So things are going real big for Cork. Real big.
David Ogden Stiers makes an appearance. Do you even know who that is?
No, who was that?
He was the NBC executive. So
Mhm.
back in the 70s, David Ogden Stiers had a moment. He was
So-
in MASH.
That real executive?
No,
No,
the
no,
actor.
I'm
actor.
confused.
He's an
Okay.
actor, so he's an actor.
Like normally he has like a beard, doesn't he? Doesn't he always have a beard?
It's
or no?
both. He's done
Okay,
both.
all right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
play
I
on
recognized him right away.
Oh
but-
God, what character in MASH is he? You remember?
Was he a lead?
Winchester,
Winchester.
and he started in Doc Hollywood as the mayor.
There you go. Michael knows.
I can't place him.
Michael knows. But he was an NBC exec who sat down at the table with
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Right.
That
Who was
guy.
like, oh, yeah, he's got jokes. Kid's okay.
He also is the voice of Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I
Wow.
love Cogsworth.
There you go.
I love
I didn't know
Cogsworth
that.
and Lumiere as a duo.
and Jumba in Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
The
Yeah.
guy who made
Made him.
Stitch.
Really?
Inventor, the
Experiment.
guy with the how many eyes did he have? Six
Yeah.
eyes. or
Several
something like
eyes.
that? Yeah.
Several eyes.
Cool.
Yeah, apparently that was
People
David Ogden.
really get excited over a dummy act in the 70s. Did you notice how excited they all were once they really came out with a dummy? People were like losing their shit.
They were
man.
like slow nodding.
It was like-
Okay.
I was like, I'm just saying, in today's age, a guy walks out with a dummy, we're just like, okay, but
I mean,
back then, apparently,
hold on. We don't all feel that way.
that's no. I think if Haley were sitting in an audience, production assistant Haley, and then someone walked up with one of these in her lap and started going, "Hey guys, how's it going?" I'm pretty sure Haley'd be like, "I'm out," and she'd be gone. In the 70s,
I don't know, man. I feel like you're doing dummies dirty, and I'm not.
I don't mean no.
for it.
I'm for it. I had a Charlie McCarthy, so I'm.
What
I'm
happened to
there.
that Charlie McCarthy, Neil?
I think he tried to choke me out in the closet. That was the end. So
Wow.
I had to move.
Wow. You had to move. You had to burn down the house. I had
That's right.
to burn down my house. I was 7 years old.
I think I saw him on San Jose Avenue a couple of years ago.
He's like, can you spare a dime for former
Hey,
altar
mister.
boy? It's a little exorcist humor for
Hey.
you.
Hey, buddy, you got a dime?
You're like, Charlie, don't you die in the fire, Charlie? So anyway, so things are going well. He's getting cigars and money like he's never had before.
Right.
He's in the, it's possible he might get a program.
Right.
However, he's doing Carson.
Yeah, Carson.
He's
Yeah.
doing all the
No,
circuits.
he's big time.
I didn't know any of the other talk show people they
Oh, really?
named. They could have been made
Tom
up.
Snyder and Mike Douglas. Yes, I had
Big
big.
talk
Big.
shows in the 70s.
Yeah. I barely even know who Johnny Carson is because I don't know. It just kind of creeps me out. But anyway,
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So yes, so things are going well. However, he's gonna have a health exam, which I think is really weird. That probably is something that just got rid of like 10 years ago. Like,
Probably.
how invasive to be like, where's your health exam to be on the fucking NBC show with your dummies? Like, I feel like that's overstepping.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an insurance thing.
It's dumb.
Right.
He doesn't want to.
They're going to invest millions of dollars in you. They want to know that you're not going to
That's
follow
weird.
the dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird, and I don't like it, and Corky doesn't like it either. Because he's like, if they start to psychoanalyze me, they're going to realize that I have some demons in my closet.
Right. Yep. And he stands up against it.
Yeah.
And old Burgess is like, yo, dude.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Chill.
is this a deal breaker?
Exactly.
It's a deal breaker, ladies.
And the pressure's too much, so Corky says, I got to get out
He's
of
all,
town.
I gotta go. I gotta go to
I'm
the
outta here.
Catskills.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta get my head on right so that I can go back and have this opportunity, or not, if Peg wants to run off with me, high school sweetheart Peg. So he goes back to his hometown, and there's this line I really like when the cabbie's driving him around,
Mhm.
and he says, take me to the graveyard. And he's looking out there, and the cabbie says, do you have people here? And he said, just family. Oh, that was a good line. But it's like the way he delivers it is like,
Mhm.
Yep.
oof.
But you get these little flashbacks that
Just
show
like-
him as a child at home.
Yeah.
Home, by the way, the exterior,
hmm
Ukiah, California.
No, we're going.
Really?
We're going, and we're bringing the boys.
And the resort, Upper Lake.
Really?
Really?
That's at Blue Lake. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know that either. I mean, I'm looking at these hills in the film going like, God, that looks like
Okay, you know what?
that looks like home. And
To the Coltmobile. We're going.
turns out it is. Anyway, my point is, you get these little flashbacks, and he's always just sort of like standing, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like this outsider, you know.
He is.
He's always glum. He's always, you know.
He's an outsider in his own
dropping-
life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So he's not happy. So the fact that he's going back here is kind of odd.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah,
To me.
he's such a troubled, sad person, and it's clear he's probably been that way his whole life.
Mhm.
And so it is kind of like, why would you go back there? But I mean, as he kind of says too, he's like, it's home. Isn't home where you go and you've nowhere else to go or whatever? But I think that he was just down to clown. He was down with whatever is going to happen when he got back there.
But maybe he had some fame, and he always had, you know, he always liked this Peggy person, you know.
High school
and
sweetheart.
He was just going to go back there and
Yeah.
hopefully bang.
Well, he actually says that he wanted to go back and talk to her parents
Yeah.
and find out what happened to her, how
Right.
many kids did she have, was she
Oh,
married,
okay.
that kind of
Right.
thing.
Right. That's what he was
So-
expecting
So
to
he was
happen.
just stalking a little bit.
Yeah, he
Light
was
stalking.
I guess he was just expecting to.
They didn't have Facebook back then. He had to do something. By the way, so Scott, of course, producer Scott, I said, run that math when he gives the cabbie money and when he says the cabin's $50 per night. $50 per night, that's $350 in today's money. So the fact that he gave the cabbie, you know, a few $100,
$200.
that's much more money.
Right.
We didn't.
Much
I didn't
more
write
money.
down the
Okay.
total on this.
$1,500.
It's like $1,500.
Wow.
So you can see it was like, wow, like that would very much indicate like
Yeah.
this guy's got
He was
money.
dropping some coin.
Yeah.
He had some cash at that point.
Yeah. Peggy has a cat, and I found that to be very important. A little tabby,
Okay.
precious tabby,
Very nice cat.
precious tabby of the Lord.
Precious Tabby of the Lord.
Have you guys ever been to the Catskills?
No.
Where this is supposed
No.
to be?
Nope.
Catskills.
I've been to
anyone?
Blue Lake though.
So in the movie, Peggy says that the Catskills are dying. Are they back now? Does anyone know? Are they? How are the Catskills? How are the Catskills
I feel
doing?
like after Dirty Dancing, it just all went downhill for the Catskills.
Or did it go up? Like, did people want to go and
Too many came and probably killed
ruined
it.
it?
Yeah.
Like, ruined the
ruined-
magic of the cats?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's called the cat, like,
Catskills.
I want to go to there
Yeah.
and be like, where's all the cats?
I
Where the
think
cats
it's.
at?
I think it's just a place you go and get poison ivy. I think that's all it is. Your parents make you go there in the summer.
Am I
you hate it.
then nursed back to health by a cat? Because I
No,
will
by
go.
Patrick Swayze. God damn it!
Oh, I hate that movie, Dirty Dancing. I fucking hate that movie.
Well, nobody puts Lester in a corner, so it's okay. That's all that matters.
Oh, they wouldn't dare.
No.
So that's Peg.
Peg also gets very excited by card tricks and dummy.
We're very much the same person.
You are
Peg
okay.
and I, because I also love magic tricks and I love dummies. I like, seriously, I know magic's kind of lame. Like, I know it's not as hot as it used to be when David Copperfield was doing it. But
Well,
I've
that
mentioned
masked comic guy, he just ruined it. Everyone, you know, revealing all the secrets.
I didn't watch any of that shit.
Yeah,
I didn't
me
either.
I was
Can't do
like,
it.
hell
Refused.
no.
Refused.
But I am obsessed with magic. If somebody is like somewhere and they do like strolling magic, I lose my mind. Scott, how am I around magic tricks?
Insane.
Insane.
Mine-
Cannot be contained.
You're like, what is this black magic fuckery?
No, but like in a happy way.
She's hoping it's black magic.
I want it to be
Yeah.
black
You want
magic
it to be
fuckery.
real.
That's why.
So he and Peg are having some heart to hearts while he's skipping stones, and you can kind of start to see like Corky's not super well.
Yeah, he's got a couple quirks loose.
Some quirky quirks.
Yeah.
Quirky quirk.
What did you guys think of that mind reading scene?
I've got notes.
God damn, what a good scene that was.
It makes sense at the end, but you know, when it's happening, you're just thinking like, God, you're just what is going on here?
No,
Jesus.
Haunted, there's a ghost.
No, you know, you're thinking like, oh, you just got this weird anger issue, and you know, why would she even stay? I mean, like, major red flags were being thrown up.
Major red
opinion.
flags. Major red flags, but
You know what?
yeah.
Apparently they're soulmates because they're they've got a rapport.
Yeah.
There's a connection there. They can read each other's mind.
And it's like she really wants it for him too. Like she really wants this to like work for him. And I mean he's scary. He's scary in that scene. But then it kind of dissolves into like his fear and his anxiety. And you can see how this man is like hanging on by a dummy's thread. And he just needed to escape his life.
Yeah.
He's so troubled.
That scene should be taught in cinema school. Everything about it is brilliant. The acting is so intense and committed. The choices that are made both by Anthony Hopkins when he's going through the deck of cards in his hands, and the way the camera follows it,
yes,
and the way the camera pans to faces and the reactions, and just you can see his thought process with his thumbing through the cards that creates this incredible character like study. It's brilliant. It's one of my favorite scenes I've ever watched in any film ever.
Damn.
Wow.
Up until the end of the trick.
Oh wait, but go before we get to that though. What are your notes on the scene?
Yeah, no notes is that I mean when you first see him lose his shit.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and he goes nuts over the fact that they try to do his mind reading thing. They get it wrong the first time, and he just goes crazy. And at that point, Ann-Margret sort of said, "Dude, get out of my house! You're nuts."
Right.
You know, but unfortunately, she didn't. She's got her own issues, right?
Which
with men.
Goes on to you go on to see like
some
kind
of
of
her
how
stuff.
messed up they all are.
Right.
Well, yeah, and she's already used to kind of an abusive relationship, but with Corky, there's a magic and there's a charm to him.
Right. I mean, there is.
Right.
And there's a devotedness to her.
But in that scene, though,
Yeah.
I can't say there was really any charm in that scene. It was more about his aggressive, card thumbing, basically.
No, I'm just saying, like, as
But-
opposed to, like, when you look at Duke and you look at him,
Mhm.
you can see why she might be like, yeah, red flags are nothing. But it's also the 70s, so they're probably like, that's the way you talk to a woman.
Oh,
with
there's
all
no
of these
question.
things.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was the line, and do you want the
Yep.
asparagus tips, or I can't remember.
Broccoli,
Yeah.
something.
You're like,
yeah.
the man has to choose.
Now, I think she was being tongue-in-cheek with that. But I do. I think Peg was. But
I would hope she is, but
you feel bad for Peg, and she's got this shitty marriage, and
But
you
it was
can see she wants to escape too.
Yeah, it was a great scene. It was
it's a
very
great scene.
intense and well done. Like Scott says, I mean, I credit that to the editing, the fact that they were able to go in and the way they paced it, and everything. That it was really,
Right.
really good job.
And you know what the card is that he wants, the
Right.
Yeah,
three of
the
clubs,
clubs,
I think,
yeah.
and he goes past it
Oh,
the
when
first
when he
time, and you're like,
hesitates.
oh no, it's not going to work again. Now
Oh.
he's really going to lose his shit.
Well,
And then
because
he goes back, and
because you're worried for Ann-Margret at that point.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what the hell he'll do
Yeah.
to her if
You're
he
like-
doesn't get it.
You don't know what's gonna happen to either of them. You're like, this is so intense.
right.
And then
But it works.
Sandra said it right there. There was a brief hesitation over the three of clubs the first time.
Yeah.
A blink if you miss it hesitation. That's just
Right.
that's acting genius.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss, says Jerry.
But it worked.
Then
They bang.
okay, but no, they don't just bang. That's inaccurate. What they do is she literally scuttles over on the floor
Yes.
and cuddles his hand. Much like everybody cuddle your dummy's hand. Just like they did. Cuddle your dummy's hand.
Cuddle the hand.
I can't. If I touch Charlie,
Like
he's
this.
going over the side.
Do it with your mind. Do it with your eyes. And then they have a 70s sex scene.
They kiss, but they don't actually touch lips.
Correct? At least there's no armpit licking.
Oh, shit! I was thinking, like, which one is more weird? The armpit licking scene.
armpit
from,
licking
I can't
is-
remember the name of the movie.
Don't Look
Now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's way weirder.
or this one.
No, that's way weirder.
I
And
want
then
to
you
point
have
something out though. Doc
Armpits.
said apparently there is a topless portion of that scene
that was cut
Mm.
for
that
us.
we did not see.
did not
so
see.
I think you're
Okay.
right. I think we saw the TV version.
And so there's lots of in the love scene. There's lots of tender face touching and soaring string music because, and then
That's
the
Jerry Goldsmith.
cranky ass dummy.
Like sitting there judging.
So much
But it's like
judgment.
a cut. It would be like some like aggressive harmonic music playing, and then it would go back to the cheesy.
So Scott and I believe it's a concertina.
Okay, it could be. I have written down here though that I want to have relations whilst cheesy 70s TV music plays in the background. That's on my bucket list.
Well, good for you.
I'm adding that.
I'm adding it.
I hope you and the wifey can achieve that.
Or someone.
Someone. Someone.
I think your wife's cooler than that. Sure, someone will do it. So there's this music that plays with Fats, and it's like this little like concertina.
Okay. Very well could be. You're right.
I called it an accordion at first, and then we settled on concertina. And I'm like, whatever, it's a Foley instrument. Squeeze it.
Mama's got a squeeze box.
It's what Steve Martin plays in Only Murders in the Building.
That's right.
That's right.
So we're starting to see that there's a problem developing. I wrote down a line I like here. I'm getting to my Ben lines. A pro never forgets his good lines. That's a good one.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So Gangrene comes to visit.
Yes, Ben shows up unexpectedly.
Well, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you got before that?
No, I was going to say that Duke also shows up. But that's okay.
That's later.
That's later. Yeah,
It's not
Ben
there
shows
yet.
up first.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ben comes on the scene first, and he has a glass cigar case, which he throws in a corner, and it breaks.
He's done that a few times, though.
So
because you saw
rude.
him do it in his office, actually.
Yeah.
Which is,
Because this guy just gives no fucks. He's so rich.
I guess.
I mean, he trained Rocky. Come on.
Well, you know what he also did?
Died.
Yeah.
In both films.
Well,
What else he did?
What?
He lived through Cholula Bankhead and the death of vaudeville.
yes, you're right.
Good line.
No, his best line was, I should have been a cesspool cleaner like my mom wanted. That's a good line.
So funny. I really, of course, he's a great actor, and I love that whole scene between the two of them where he like challenges
It's
him.
like you're losing it. You're losing your shit.
Yeah,
You know?
he's like, go 5 minutes.
Yeah, go 5 minutes without talking through Fats.
Yep.
Can't do it.
I appreciate that
And he can't do it.
where he was coming from was like a place of caring.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
he actually really cared about Corky.
I think he did actually
Right.
really care about Corky.
Uh,
I think he cared about the money,
Ye-
but I think he actually did like something about Corky's kind of naivete and kind of, because he was like really surprised when Corky was suddenly like, I'm not going to do this. I have a principle. And he's like, Corky.
I feel like the fact that he knew, okay, if he's like, this is something that you should be able to do, and if you can't, then we know you got to go to the nut farm or whatever.
Let's just say the doctor, for God's sake.
So, and I feel like more it was an investment. Corky was an investment to him. He wanted to get his return.
Yeah, but he could've just
I would
left him.
argue that
He
as
wanted
an
to take
agent,
him to the
but he
doctor.
knew there was
as an
money
agent,
there.
he's getting what, 10-15%?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, he obviously is doing very well for himself. He's
Yeah.
got other clients. You know,
He has other
I
offers.
still think there is some caring for him.
I
to
do too.
drive
I say that
all the way out there to check on him.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, like he could have had him just still sign the contract as being kind of half dummy, half man kind of person.
Yeah, and just gotten the
And
money,
would
but
have
like
gotten
fucked
all
him.
the money.
the club shows.
He would have
Yeah.
still been able to do. He still would have been able to do what he was doing.
Not if he had to take the mental
Well, yeah, he
acuity
wouldn't.
test
He
to
wouldn't
get
have
on
the.
the
He wouldn't
show.
have the
what
show.
He was already
Yeah.
doing.
He'd do
doing
the
these
club
Oh,
club
but,
circuit.
shows.
but that's not where the big money is.
You know,
That's,
well,
that's
no,
a
of
waste
course
of
He
time.
can still get
but-
money.
That wouldn't be worth his time, per Caleb's point, though, that he's already
No.
rich. He wants the big money.
You know what? We believe that there's a little good in Gangrene, and you
Just a
are a
little bit.
Gangrene
There's
hater.
10 to 15.
I'm not a hater.
10 to 15% good.
I'm not convinced
Which is
he
what his cut's
cared.
going to be.
Yeah, chef.
We're really getting to see Fats' personality come out. I love his little sing-songy things he does. They'll put you somewhere dark and lonely.
Don't you care about the girl? The girl?
or when they're having their big fight about killing Gangrene, and he's like, me. It's a little something, that line, but it's okay.
Okay, you said the thing when he killing Gangrene.
Yes.
Killing Burgess. So, death by dummy, basically.
Yeet!
That's right.
He comes in like a wrecking ball. He goes like Miley
He
used
just
to
closed
do.
his eyes and swung.
And Fast has got a... So these guys have very nice shaped
Plastic.
small heads, whereas like Fats is a big
And it's wooden
Wood.
too.
Yeah.
nose and the whole thing. Yeah. So what I like about that is after the scene, so that's when he whacks Burgess. Burgess is down, the dummy is down,
Mhm.
and then Ann-Margret comes out, do you want asparagus, tips, or broccoli? Whatever. He deals with that, goes back, and you hear him moaning, right? And you think it's Burgess,
Yes.
but then it's actually Fats moaning on the ground.
my
Going, my
head.
head. I'm like, that's awesome.
I
That's
felt
brilliant.
so bad for the poor baby. But you know who else? The tabby saw it all.
The tabby did see it all.
The poor tabby
Yep.
cat saw it all. Yeah, uses Fats as a literal fucking weapon. Like, just beats the man.
At least he didn't pick up the cat and beat him rid of
I
the
know.
cat.
I know the
Could've
cat
been
would
worse.
not have allowed that.
No.
And so then that's when I started to feel even more compassion, sympathy for Fats, is when he's like sad and his head hurts. Like, God, it made me so sad. And he bandages his head like a person.
Yep.
And he's like,
Gives him a new wig.
he's like, does it show? And it's like, oh my God, my
He's
poor
very
baby.
worried about his appearance.
Yeah, it made me think of these boys, and it just made me like, oh sweetie. And then Corky's like, he's like doctoring his head, and he's like, hey Fats, I was thinking I might go to the police.
Yes. I'm like, thinking maybe we'll go to the police and tell them what happened.
I
It's
just,
like,
I don't know.
no, just swim out to the middle of the lake.
Put rocks
Puts
in
the
him.
rocks in his pockets. And Corky's like, I don't swim very good. He's
Yeah.
like, just do it anyway.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Which he does, and Ben's not dead.
Ben's not
Oh, yuck.
He
It
fights
just gets
back.
messier.
It does get messier. And there's one of Caleb's infamous kind of like just cuts all of a sudden. Like they're
Mhm.
fighting in the water, they
Yeah.
both go under,
Right.
and then fade to black for commercial, and then you come back.
Yeah, and it comes back, and he's like, I don't remember what he's doing.
Ann-Margret's like, hey,
Yeah.
coffee.
Duke's home.
Duke's home, yes,
Duke's
you're right.
home.
And that's when Duke comes home. The husband comes
Right.
home.
Duke,
Okay, and there's a
yes.
very odd scene. Like Duke wants to see the two, Corky and Peggy, together
Yeah.
Yes.
because he doesn't trust that she's been
Right.
faithful.
Yeah, because he's a
So
psycho.
obviously, we now know that Duke is an asshole,
Yeah,
which is also kind of why the red flag during the card trick
yeah. Isn't too
didn't really
shocking.
take because she's probably seen a lot worse.
Exactly.
Okay, but is he wrong?
He's not wrong.
He's
Is
not
he
wrong.
wrong?
But he
He's-
hasn't seen Corky yet. He hasn't.
Yeah, he doesn't
You know,
trust
he
his
knows
wife.
But he
Absolutely
knows
nothing.
Corky.
From school.
From
He
school.
knows
He hasn't
Corky
seen
from
Corky in
Yeah,
15 years.
From when he's like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Actually, I like when Corky says, "Does he look like?"
Does he still look like James Dean?
James
Yeah.
Dean.
In my
And
note,
then
I
you
said
see him
he-
and you're
yeah.
like, nope.
In my
doesn't
note,
look
I
like
said he
James
does not
Dean.
look like James Dean.
Maybe James Dean right now.
And of course, I didn't write down his name, but that actor's been in a million things. Who plays Duke?
Right.
Million
Definitely.
trillion things. So yeah, that's kind of weird.
Ed
Lautner?
Yeah.
Lauder?
And
Water.
I was screaming at Corky during that scene when he's on the phone and he fakes the call after they find the rolls. I'm like, why don't you just call the office and give yourself an alibi and say, hey, it looks like Ben's car's here, Sadie. Has anybody seen him?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you could have just like easily made that fucking call. But
That's
he
true.
doesn't. He has to lie and then carry on a really creepy phone conversation with not
I love
Ben.
it though. It's so. I mean, it's
Oh,
sad,
it's wonderful.
but it's so good. How he's just like he just can't ever tell the truth.
Right.
You know.
Well, I think it's a sign of he's always talking to somebody who's not there.
But it's like
He's
this.
very-
Yeah.
Too.
He's very
There's that
good
too.
at having a conversation
Well,
with nobody.
and it's also it's
Yeah.
like it's a conversation he's always having with his shadow, his id, his ego,
Mhm.
or something. And so it's like he's saying like, "No, she's got to run off with me, see?" Or
Yeah.
So Duke has a great idea. I don't trust this guy. My wife admits that she does want to sleep with him. Not that they did, but she
Even though
does
they did.
want to. Even though they
But
did,
wants to.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, like the sands of the hourglass. These are the days of Corky's lives.
Oh,
Anyway,
I
so they
like
go
that
out.
he's gonna have a man-to-man with
We're
him.
gonna
Man
go
to
out in
man.
the boat.
Go out in the boat.
Right.
Do a little fishing.
Yeah.
little fishing. And Corky, that's when we're really getting some full body shots of Corky, and he's rocking some bell bottoms. And I bet they're in the whole movie, but I just didn't really see him till then.
Okay.
Big flares. big flares.
They were. You're right. They were.
And
flares.
Duke would never.
No.
Duke wears a little knit hat, just like Fats does.
Like Fats or Quint
Right.
from Jaws, kind of thing.
It's a little knit cap. So they have this wonderful tension building. See, another great scene filled
Very
with
good.
tension.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh God, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna hurt him?
Right.
Is he gonna pull in
He
the
tries
body?
to trick him, saying like, "My wife says you two slept together," and
Right.
Corey's like, "Why would you come at me with that bullshit that never happened?"
They did.
Yep. But then he casts his line
Right.
and pulls on something
He's like,
heavy.
"Oh, I got something big."
And then here comes
You're
the
like,
real
it's
tension.
gangrene.
Yep, he's pulling it up, and then he gets that oar out. He gets it up, ready to go.
Yeah.
I was so mad at that Foley artist because that is not at all how any of those actions that he was doing with that spinning rod sound
Yeah.
throughout that
Oh.
entire
Even
thing.
I was like, why does it sound like that? And Scott's like, it doesn't sound like that.
that.
Would he be able to pull the fishing line up like with his hand, like
Yeah.
he was doing?
Yes.
Really? That wouldn't
Actually,
slip?
No, that
Okay.
is actually
All right.
what
I
we
don't
would do in
fish,
that
so
situation.
I was like, I don't know if that's true, but
I
all
did
right.
all the
Fisherman
all the
Scott says
bluegill
so.
that I caught in Spring Lake. We had to grab that fish line all the way up.
And then you grabbed your
Look at
club.
little blue-
And then you grabbed your club and, or your dummy and you whack
Yeah,
it.
oh, absolutely.
And then the ranger came by and said, "Let me see your fishing license.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're going to
Okay.
Howard Park Jail.
You got to go into that little
You're
jail
doing the
they
hard
have there.
time."
You're
For the little thing for
The
the
little
kids.
town.
Yeah.
the little snapping turtles that'll get you.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? There's snapping turtles in that lake, too. That Corky, that's one of the things he says to Fats. He's like, we can't go in there. There's snapping turtles in there.
I didn't hear that part. I missed that part.
And he's like, there's a lot of moccasins care. Like,
So they were at Howard Park too.
Like,
They
that's
were.
so, apparently also filmed in Santa Rosa.
Okay, so then I love it. They see gangrene.
They see-
Ben is
they
washed
see-
up
yeah,
on the
Ben,
shore,
Yeah.
half up on the shore. They get over there real quick, and I love how Duke's just like, he might still be alive. And you're just like,
I think so, bro.
really?
I think
He's
Duke
blue.
wants to be a hero.
Yes, he does. He wants to
I think
be
he's got like a
the
hero
dashing
complex.
James Dean he was as a kid.
Right.
Yeah. And
But
yeah.
everything he goes through, I'm gonna give him the kiss of life.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're like,
Like-
I'm gonna
first
rip
of
it- I'm
all,
gonna rip his shirt open and listen to
Right.
his heart.
It took
you
a
know?
lot. I'm pretty sure just by feeling the guy, first of all, you're like,
Right,
ooh,
you
this
feel
dude's
like,
stone
oh,
cold.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
probably not alive.
And then I had to laugh because they can't even show the CPR.
Yes, they
Because
cut
oh,
away.
that just would be too gay for 1978. Like no, we cannot have that on network television.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
Does Doc Pretorius remember? Do they show the actual act of the giving of the kiss of life?
The kiss
Doc,
of
do you
life.
remember? Let us know. Comment below in the description. of the...
Comment below. So doesn't end well for Duke.
No,
No.
he sends Corey back
Corky.
to Corky back to call the police,
Yes.
and then sneaks into his cabin.
Yeah.
He's gonna go through his stuff.
He's like
He's
rifling through
gonna
his
find
shit.
out what's really
Yeah.
going down.
He finds a bloody small
Surprised he didn't
wig.
check the sheets to see.
Yeah, with a black light. He finds a bloody little tiny wig.
That's all he finds.
Well, then he eventually finds other things.
The
He
ID.
finds, yeah.
Ben's
A
ID.
bag of red acrylic paint.
Yeah. finds- and he's like, I got him. The son of a bitch, I got him. And
I'm gonna be a hero after all.
yeah, for real though. But Fats
No,
has
no,
other
Fats
plans.
says-
Yep.
And
Fats
he's like,
has a Swiss Army knife.
I think a
One stab
switchblade.
and you're dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think.
no. So I actually have a note about that in a minute too. So then we've got to get rid of 2 bodies. Fats has a plan for that. It's fine. And so now it's coming time for Peg to make a decision. She doesn't know her husband's dead. And she's like, okay, I want to leave with you, but I want to like wait and tell him. And it's like, well, you're
In
gonna be
person. Yeah.
we're gonna be
yeah.
waiting a long time
Mm-hmm.
because he's at the bottom of Lake Melody right now. They have a
Doc
tiff.
can't recall, by the way.
Yep.
If they show the kiss of life,
Uh,
he doesn't remember.
Oh, okay.
they have a little tiff, and basically Fats is trying to push Corky and Fats is trying to push Peg away. Partially, I think, because Fats wants Corky all to himself, but also because I think that they don't want to hurt Peg. So they're like, if I can just like make her
But
go.
Corky has also told Fats that he wants to leave and go to Paris
Right.
with just Peggy.
Yeah, and it hurts Fats'
And it
feelings.
hurts Fats' feelings.
Because he says,
course,
I never
yeah.
seen Paris.
So Fats lashes out.
Yeah, so they're kind of having some stuff going on. And he says, like, oh, this is how that magic trick happened. We use it on other women.
He did it just to bang.
Yeah.
And he's done it before, too.
I don't believe that. I don't believe a word of that.
No?
No, I think he was just trying to push Peg away. And I think, I think part of that was Corky wanting to keep her safe. I really do. I think he was at war with what to do there. I think it was a war of Fats wanting Corky to himself and Corky not wanting Peg to get hurt.
I think Ben was right. I think he was afraid of success, and I think he was
that's part of it.
afraid of being with Peg.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I agree, producer Scott. So there's like we got to call back to the little wooden heart,
Yes,
which
we
is
did.
very cute because Fats has a little wooden heart in his little wooden body, and they try to give her a little heart, and it's like the first time we get the Fats music, but it's Corky standing there.
Right.
How good was that?
The makeup.
He looks so creepy. I think he's wearing a little wig.
Kind of look like that.
I think he's got the little wig on.
Really?
Yeah, I think he does.
I don't know. So I was reading about this, and they start to talk about some things that happen that I don't know that we saw in the movie. So maybe it's the original cut, the theatrical cut, you know? Because Corky finally comes home, and you think, like, oh, he's killed Peggy.
Right.
Like Fats suggested he do.
Right.
But it turns out that he's stabbed himself.
Yeah. Very deadly small knife.
Yes, again, probably the Swiss Army knife, the only knife in the entire movie.
It's
and they both start to expire together.
Yes, they
and then
do.
eventually do.
And it broke my heart into a million pieces watching them go through that together. And Fats and Corky, they just don't want to be alone. And it's just like, it's so heartbreaking.
Right.
I was just like, I mean, we've mentioned this several times. Often, as horror fans, we have a lot of sympathy for the villain.
Mm-hmm.
We do, because we're like, oh, we get it. We maybe not the whole murder thing, but we get enough of it. And so, and like for me, he was a very sympathetic villain.
Yeah, his line was when Fat says, "I hope I don't die first."
Mm-hmm.
There's a line, and that's
And
when
he
you...
says, well, lay me flat and
Yeah.
hold me. I was like,
I like that they have the matching outfit,
sweaters, yeah.
sweaters
Producer
on, too.
Scott and I want to wear that for Halloween. We don't know which one's going to be which, but...
Yeah, but no, I like how Fats's voice got just a little more weaker and weaker as Anthony Hopkins was also fading out, and then they go together.
Right.
We go together.
So then Peggy shows up.
What?
The
What a
last
twist.
scene of the movie.
I changed my mind.
I'm a woman. I can change my mind. Don't play
I
hard
want
to
to go
get.
with you.
Yeah.
And like throws the wooden heart up in the air.
Such-
And we just get a freeze frame.
Such an awkward ending.
So I read that Peggy changes her voice to sound like Fats, and then the credits roll.
What?
Yeah. And
Huh.
I'm like, not in what I saw.
And why would she?
Yeah,
Suggesting that maybe Fats...
there is a possession-y thing going on.
Yeah. Maybe. Or maybe now her mind broke and now she's gonna carry on the...
Then does Fats start to look like her?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I read something like that
That's-
and I got
that's
very
dumb.
confused.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's dumb, and I hate it.
That's all I can say.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the wooden
Yeah.
heart freeze frame in the air,
Right.
but I mean, it's clearly like not a possession movie. Like
Not what we saw.
It's
Right.
clearly
what we
not
saw.
that.
Yeah.
It's a mental.
Because they wouldn't be so connected and have
Yeah,
such.
It's a mental health movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a possession movie.
So if you're experiencing
But only
a
if
dummy,
you saw it on
yeah.
TV, is it that?
If you're experiencing symptoms of a dummy that looks like you and has homicidal
Right.
cravings, you might want to get help. So there you have it.
Yeah, brilliantly executed.
Great film.
Check it out. If you don't have Shudder, by the way, it is also streaming on Tubi, which is free.
Yep.
You'll just have to watch the same commercial over and over
Wait.
and over again.
You didn't say this one.
Which one?
The disintegration.
That's just, as he moves further and further down the line.
Corky?
Corky, yeah.
I think he had a heart attack. I think that's why he was so sweaty.
Maybe. He was sweating like a son of a gun by
Yeah.
the end there.
He did not look good.
No. He was having issues.
Help me.
That's all. But great film. Go watch it. Go check this movie
Yay.
out.
It's magic.
It's magic. I believe in magic. What's up next, Sandra?
Let's play some fun and games, but it's not a game, but it's fun. You'll
An activity?
see. We're going to have activity now, kids. Yay!
Will there be food?
All right. Lester. Oh, is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
Lester, go take 5. You've worked hard enough. So, one thing that we've talked about doing here on the Cult Show is trying some treats from a place that is not America, where we live. So, we're going to do a little bit of that. This is the International Yummies box by Matt Liz. And this is like I feel like this is beginner level box, but that's probably good for us.
We are beginners.
We're going to have some of these things and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about some other things and talk about how we feel. So first up,
Where's this box from?
turkey.
Turkey.
What do we have here? What's our first thing?
This says pizza cracker.
That's right.
Spelled Kraker. The pizza cracker expires in February of 24, so we're okay.
So this snack was first introduced to the Turkish market in the early 90s, and it was a failure.
Oh.
Turkish people did not like it, and almost all pizza restaurants were closed within a few years. This was until Ninja Turtles started to screen on TVs. All of a sudden, Turkish mothers ended up with their children pestering and nagging to have pizza. This gave an opportunity for the pizza producers to rise from their ashes. So this little snack, along with the Ninja Turtles, saved pizza as we know it. Would you guys like a little piece?
Wow.
All right.
All right. Smells like oregano.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not like, oh, there's a little flavor at the
It
end.
tastes like a Pepperidge Farm pizza snack.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. The little fishy pizza flavor ones they have.
These are not bad.
Yeah, it's
Michael?
kind of like a goldfish with a little more taste.
Yeah, they have a
I
pizza
actually
flavor
think
one.
it's a little bit blander than a goldfish.
Me
Okay.
too. I think it could be like richer
All right.
for richer or
Not
poorer.
terrible though.
No, it's not bad by any means. I would eat those.
Yeah, you're happy with a little
Yeah.
pizza moment. It's like we're in Turkey right now.
Just like.
So one thing that's coming up that I wanted to talk to you guys about when we have our little snackies is there's a big horror auction going on. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Prop Store, one of the world's leading film and TV memorabilia companies, they're having a big horror heavy auction on starting on June 28th.
Wow.
One of the things that's in there, I'm going to share some highlights.
Okay.
Poltergeist screen matched evil clown doll set. The clown.
Okay.
The actual one used on the set?
$200,000 to $400,000
Wow.
is the prediction.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
But that would be really fucking cool to have, and I think we should buy it. This
And
next,
you hate clowns.
yeah, but that guy is fucking scary.
He's part
on
clown,
purpose.
part doll, too.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
is. What do
Okay.
we have next?
Next, we have the Ulker Cat Cat Tat.
Cat, cat, tat.
Cat.
This is a croissantish bakery in Turkish style, filled with goodness inside. This one comes with different shapes and sizes. It has different flavors other than chocolate, strawberry, and sesame seed flavors.
This one expires, looks like in March of 24.
I don't think you have to say it. A
Oh,
controversial yet success-proven snack with a long-standing record of being around for decades in Turkey.
Decades.
Oh, so you know it's good.
So then another item we've got
It tears open nicely.
is the thing, the spider head thing.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
That would
Norse's thing.
That would be amazing.
$100,000 to $200,000.
The thing, that thing's a lot of latex. It's probably
I know.
just completely rotted by now.
That's what I was just thinking.
Well, this,
Yeah.
this is just
I
gonna
almost hit the camera.
fall apart,
I mean,
guys.
Oh my
Hit the-
god, it's almost like baklava.
be. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's flaky.
It's very flaky.
Producer Scott's like, I want the snack. I want the treat. Here, break off a little bit of that cat tat. Cult of Chucky, screen matched. I'm skipping around a little bit here. Good guy doll.
Yeah.
This is cool. Freddy versus Jason. Robert Englund autographed Freddy Krueger fedora.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Do you want any of these treats, Haley? You can come try some. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
That's good.
It's like Nutella.
It's like hazelnutish. Or is it the sesame seed? It's very
Might be the
flaky.
Sesame seed.
It's very flaky.
Overly flaky. I don't.
It's
the
very
payoff
messy.
Payoff for me is not enough to eat that.
Oh, because it's too much work.
There's too much mess that for what I get out of it.
I would never give this to my kids.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Freddy Krueger screen match prosthetic razor claw glove. 20,000 to 40,000.
From which movie?
Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare. Yeah. The Twilight Zone male nurse's eye of the beholder. That everybody knows that from the Twilight Zone. The makeup appliance, $8,000 to $16,000 estimated.
Wow.
Isn't that
Some
interesting?
cool things.
All right, we're gonna let you. Oh, that looks weird.
Let's go for the weird
Oh,
ones.
let's go to the weird then.
Well, they're all weird.
What is that one?
We're gonna do this one. What do we have there?
This is a popping candy called Papillos. It's tutti frutti flavored. Apparently.
Tutti fucking fruity. Anybody?
No color, no preservatives.
No taste.
This candy has a surprise waiting for you. As soon as touching your mouth, this candy does not stand your energy and starts to explode one by one. Simply try. Find out yourself.
Oh, is it a pop rock?
That's my guess.
I think it's a pop rock.
It's hard to open.
What's on the cover there? Did you hold it up nice for the people?
No, I did
It's got a
not.
little child on
Got
it.
It's got a
young
little,
person
little
going.
fats on it.
Papillos!
So this is something I want. Trick or Treat, Sam's, burlap gloves, $5,000 to $10,000.
It's like one solid piece.
Tutti frutti. I just broke a little piece off.
So last but not least, you could also get a full-size Deadite soldier puppet from Army of Darkness, $2,500 to $5,000.
Wow.
It
You
just
have
kind
this?
of
I kind of want like a little
dissolves in your mouth.
piece. Okay, perfect.
And at first I had
Oh,
like
it smells interesting.
banana, I thought.
It's not Pop Rocks.
No.
It is not Pop Rocks at all. It's kind of chalky isn't the word,
Yeah.
but
Definitely tastes like banana to me.
see, okay, you did get the banana too.
It's tutti frutti flavor.
I'm not crazy.
It's just like a
It just sort of like once your saliva mixes with it, it just
dissolves.
It's kind of like
Dissolves.
a compressed cotton candy. Like
Okay.
you get cotton candy and then push it back together again.
okay. Yeah,
I'll take that.
it's like yeah.
That is
Basically,
wild.
That's
Yeah.
it's interesting. I didn't hate it.
But it's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Like a compressed sugar, very good, like Scott said. And then just
It's like I could see why, like, especially kids would think that that's kind of an interesting texture now.
Oh, and it's sweet. I mean, it's it's very sweet. So yeah.
Oh, Neil, this is definitely one for you.
Oh, why is that? Because it says potty,
Exactly.
like my humor.
If our pronunciation is wrong in any of this, we apologize.
Sorry. Yeah, there's not a pronunciation guide. I've just got this.
Could be potty, but we're gonna call it potty.
Either carrot, coconut, fruit, or chocolate flavored. These cakes are a great idea if you love puffy stuff.
Well, and it's got carrot on the front, so
We got carrot.
which is our
Neil does not like puppy stuff, apparently.
potty, by the way.
Potty has no meaning in Turkish, but some Turkish people call it as best packaged cake ever. Hope you agree with them. That is some high praise, and I bet the people at Hostess would say those are fighting words.
Wow. Well, I like a good carrot cake, so we're gonna see what happens.
What's it smell like? Smell the cake?
Like carrot,
It
like
smells
Ooh,
like
it smells
carrot
like carrot
cake.
cake.
It really
but
does.
like one that's made from
I'll have a little.
Duncan
Can't have
Hines
that.
or something.
Have a little.
It smells like carrot cake. Yeah.
It's very puffy.
Mm.
It tastes like dry carrot cake.
Yeah.
Dry.
Like if you were going to use a box baking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Without the icing though.
That's hella fucking dry.
Yeah.
Sorry, people.
I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great.
That needs a coffee.
Yeah, if you could dip
It
that in
needs
coffee.
something. Yeah.
Dip it in coffee.
Perhaps tea.
Maybe a potty. Maybe
Do you like carrot cake though, Scott?
I do.
Okay.
No, the flavor is good, but
Really
Yeah, the
fucking
flavor's
dry.
not
Really
bad.
It's really hard to swallow. Yeah.
Now here's. Hey, stay out of there.
Doc Pretorius. Yes. Urinal cakes.
Have you guys?
That's probably a late comment, but
We have not talked about this too. Contemplate this while you're contemplating your snack.
Okay.
Did you guys know that on WB Animation and it's Amblin TV, I believe it's Max on the Max streaming,
Okay.
there is a Gremlins cartoon?
Yeah, I've seen it. I
You
mean,
watched-
I've seen it advertised.
Oh, I never heard of it, and I guess Bowen Yang is on it. Who doesn't love Bowen Yang? And it's Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai, and this is so cute for those of us that don't know. This is set in 1920s Shanghai, and tells the story of how 10-year-old Sam Wing met the young Mogwai called Gizmo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, he eventually becomes, who we know him as. They have a lifelong friendship as Wing attempts to return Gizmo to his family, encountering and sometimes battling colorful monsters and spirits from Chinese folklore. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like taking something that, like, let's be honest, let's be real. In like 1984, it's a little bit like they were trying to be like, look, it's ancient and exotic and Chinese, ooh, and kind of being like, let's lean into it and let's embrace it for Chinese folks and Chinese Americans and be like, look at this cool thing we made for you.
Yep.
Is it a little Mandalorian sounding though?
Yeah, but he's a kid. He's not a grown up like Mando is.
Mando.
So this one. So yeah, let's take a look
Mando
at that.
Calrissian.
Something
Are
like
they, Are they
that.
cousins?
Yeah, they are.
Again, apologize. Eti Sin?
Sin. Show it to the people. The classic one. Sin means genie in English. Does it? I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Many Turkish people have a superstition that the word sin calls for bad souls, and they never use the word sin in their daily lives like you-know-who in Harry Potter series. Turkish people call sin as a 3-letter entity replacement for CIN, which accounts for 3 letters in total. Oh, it's very sticky.
Kinda
We're going to have to vacuum the carpet after this
I know.
episode.
Well, I'm not going to vacuum the carpet.
So I don't know what that center is.
It
It
looks-
looks like
Kind of
chocolate
want like a
sprinkles.
little,
though.
kind of like this little bite.
Of the crust only?
No, yeah, like that. Like
But take whatever you want.
I want this.
Okay.
So it's sticky.
And crumbly. Orange.
Smells. Yeah.
Oh,
Orange.
it's like really.
Really sweet.
Orangey flavored. That's what I get at least.
Is that kind of like a chocolate orange?
Mm-hmm. There's an orange
I
right
actually like that.
That's really good.
It's kind of like a Fig Newton.
yeah.
When
I think that's what I like about it because
It's
I
not a
love
cookie.
I love
It's a
Fig
Fig
Newtons.
there. Oh, sure.
Except orange flavored.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that is a
But
very...
it looks like a little pie.
Yes. It's like a little.
Or as Doc Troy used to say, a little urinal cake.
Let's see, what looks exciting to try?
Something that looks un-American.
Well, I feel like we've done a pretty good job so far here. All right, now this, I don't know about this.
Hamburger?
That's like a
It
gummy
does
candy.
say, okay. So it looked like it's made by Bebito, and it just says hamburger jelly gum. Hamburger jelly
I
gum.
want-
For the audience.
Sorry.
There you
I want to tell you about it, but I don't think it's on here. Did we get a little bonus, Jonas? A little bonus round?
That print is way too small for me to read.
You can't, like, look at it.
go. Oh, you asked me.
I know, and then I took it back.
Okay, so if you guys can see this,
Yeah,
Oh
resend
my
it.
god, how cute is that?
Okay, it looks like a novelty eraser.
kind of
Looks like the
Kind of
Krabby Patty.
fruity.
Oh my god,
smell,
it does kind of look like Krabby Patties.
But there's like a bun.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Bun. Anyone want to hold that? And I guess this is supposed to be the meat and the
Raw.
cheese,
Raw meat
Okay.
Everybody loves raw meat.
and a tomato.
and then a tomato.
Yeah, that's like a ham sandwich, not a burger.
So
That's
I
It's
don't-
really
hefty. It's like
Wait,
heavy.
show that tomato to the camera again. Does that pick up? There's like seeds in there.
yeah,
Yeah, there's
no,
details.
they're like the bun has like
Let me see if I can zoom in on that.
sesame seeds
The
on
meat. I think this is meat and cheese.
Yeah.
Not raw meat.
It looks raw. It's pretty dang pink. Look at our fancy camera work today.
That is really cool looking.
Bite?
No, do I have to?
Yes, you have to.
it.
Just have to have a little
It's full of
bite.
sugar. It's gummy.
Yeah, I don't think they'll rip, but
Yeah, just have a
gotta
little
have
bite
to-
of yours.
I'm eating the whole thing.
So it smells good.
It's a gummy candy.
It's a gummy candy.
I just got one bite of my meat.
And the expiration date on this was March 2024.
I'm not enamored with it.
No, it's just
It's scummy.
there's nothing.
It's just it's scummy.
Yeah.
So
It's just Turkish scummy.
I had one more piece of horror news I wanted
Okay,
to share with
please.
you guys tonight. Have you heard of a movie called Tearsucker?
Seersucker?
Tearsucker.
No.
Stylish, surreal, psychological horror. Tearsucker tells the dark and surreal story of an emotionally vulnerable woman. I'm sorry. The dark and surreal story of emotionally vulnerable women, plural, who are preyed on by a charming psychopath who wants to suck their tears. The lead character, Lily, is an emotionally vulnerable trauma survivor who is desperate to heal and get on with her life. Despite the support of her best friend, Deb, Lily is completely isolated. When she crosses paths with a charming stranger, Tom, at the park, she feels hope for the first time in months. Tom sweeps Lily off her feet and invites her on a romantic weekend getaway. However, things take a disturbing turn when Lily discovers that Tom has an unusual appetite for tears and will stop at nothing to get them.
Okay.
A unique,
that sounds good.
people are calling it thought-provoking, entertaining, trauma, abuse, like kind of processing that. I mean, so first of all, fucking sounds good and like wild, right?
Right.
However, it also sounds like Eric Cartman.
That gummy lingers with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like on my palate.
Compare the taste, the flavor of that to that of tears.
Mm.
Do you think he uses a straw to get the tear?
I don't know.
Do you think he carries around a mason jar? What your tear sucking vessel says about you.
Is he ancient? He's probably got like a big clay pot or something.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. But doesn't that movie sound cool though?
That sounds good. That sounds really good.
This next Turkish treat,
Okay.
bidolu.
I can tell you about it.
Bidolu.
Maybe the youngest snack member of this box, Bidolu, which translates as filled to the fullest, is the innovative efforts of the Turkish snacks industry. It comes with a variety of flavors, including chocolate and peanut flavors. The crispy wafer on the outside balances the creamy inside and creates a harmony in your mouth. We did it.
Yay.
Hope you like it.
In your mouth.
All right.
Haley, what do you think of Tearsucker?
Thank you.
It sounds a little intense, but like good.
What do you go, sir?
I know you really like
this looks like
It's like
psychological.
a wafer cookie
Yeah, it's
and
perfect.
Oh, this
Chocolate?
looks like my jam.
Yeah, wafer on the outside.
Oh my God, it's like
Mm.
it is really stuffed to the brim. Look at this thing. Okay, look at this. You can see this. It is like a lot of chocolate.
it's like a chocolate wafer cookie with a lot more chocolate.
But it's got that very distinctive, like European chocolatey, non-U.S. chocolate.
Like
you know what I mean?
yeah, real chocolate.
Doesn't taste like vomit.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's good.
That's
That's good.
my favorite.
Mm.
Well,
Anything with a wafer usually is good.
That and the orange pie
that was your favorite?
were my two favorites.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
And honestly, I might go back to the pizza snacks
The pizzas were my favorite too.
because I'm not a big on the sweet so much, you know.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, and those were fun. But this has been fascinating, and I think we should do this more
We
often
should.
with other countries because it expands our palette.
It does.
And I like talking about horror news with you guys.
Thank you. And you know what?
Hmm.
There is nothing incredibly, horribly spicy in this one.
I know it's a change of pace for us.
That's what I'm missing.
That's right.
We failed.
So we're gonna close this up and leave a couple more treats for another time.
Okay.
There's just a few more surprises in this box. But yeah, what a fun thing. And this would be like super fun to do when like your friends or your family get a little international yummies box.
Absolutely.
Not sponsored, but they should send us free shit.
Come on, Turkey. Send us stuff.
What
So-
do we have
Next,
next?
I think it's Caleb's pick next.
Is it my pick?
So if
Okay.
we agreed upon.
So
Okay.
I think our next pick is going to be in July, right? Or will it be? I didn't bring my calendar.
End of June.
Anyway, 2 weeks from now, carrying on Pride Month, we are going to do
The 30th of June.
30th of June. Okay, still Pride. Bound.
Wow.
And I hope it's available because I.
Oh,
no.
classic
I'll look
Caleb.
it up right now.
Bound and rebound.
I saw it on something, but I can't remember where, and that was a while ago. So,
Okay. Well, that's cool. Bound with
that is my pick.
Jennifer Tilly, Gina Gershon,
Directed by the Wachowski sisters.
and Joe Pantoliano.
Joe Pan. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
First
All right.
timer.
Available on.
But you can't always believe this thing on the
True.
internet.
It says Amazon with a subscription, which not a plat premium one or anything.
Yeah.
Looks like Paramount Plus has it.
Okay.
Looks like
Well, we'll find out.
MGM Plus. Is that a thing?
Who I didn't even
That
know.
sounds pretend.
Yeah.
And it's available to rent for $3.99.
Okay.
From Basic
I can afford that.
It's
All right.
out there.
It is out there.
$3.99. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for an evening of magic.
Thank you.
Thank you to my sons for being on this episode.
Thank you, producer. Yes, Scott. Yes, Chef Scott. Haley the PA. Welcome back. Reverend Michael B. Pod People of the Future. Miss Horror Movie Buff. Addict. Miss Movie Buff. Mark Vision's Truth. Popping the Popcorn. Tommy Levette, Dr. Boreas, and Space Face Macy, and all you turkey lurkies out there. Thank you. Good night.
Bye, one.
More dummy times. Goodbye.
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 We represent like the lollipop. You like the lollipop.